Put the camera down. Point it this way, Galen, if you can.
Of fire being directed at the rebel front line there.
The Gaddafi regime in Libya is this afternoon warning of a bloodbath on the streets of Tripoli as rebel forces move ever closer to the capital. A government spokesman, Musa Ibrahim, told reporters the opposition was made up of armed gangs who he claimed were raping and murdering civilians as they advanced. And he blamed NATO for supporting them with airstrikes and arms supplies. Well, clashes have been reported in several parts of Tripoli today. A senior rebel commander claims they've taken control of the eastern suburb of Tajura, and they're now fighting for control of the Mitiga airbase. A resident in Tripoli told Sky News there have been clashes near the Souk al-Juma, and rebels there say there's also been fighting in Fashloum. Reuters is reporting that 3 pro-Gaddafi soldiers have been killed in Zawayat al-Dahmani, that's close to the main port. And there have also been reports of clashes near Gaddafi's compound, that's in the centre of the city. An opposition activist has told Reuters that a number of people have died in fighting in the suburb of Qadar, and rebels have also taken Maya to the west of Tripoli, although rebels have been coming under government sniper fire there. One Tripoli resident who didn't want to be named for his safety told Sky News about the presence of Gaddafi's troops on the streets of the capital.
They are on the mount, on the tops there. They use the roofs of high buildings. They have heavy artillery. You know, they have like 14 and a half. They have 12 and a half. They have, Hound. And we have just Kalashnikov, and we have, small grenade, here and there, handmade, But we are standing. We are not afraid, We want to die, Like this lady told you, she wants to die. We also want to die. We're not going to die for Gaddafi. We want to die for God. We want to die for good life. We want to die for freedom of speech. We want to die for human rights.
Well, the Libyan government is calling for an immediate ceasefire, branding NATO a force for evil, a warning, though, that this statement by the government spokesman, Musa Ibrahim, contains some flash photography.
We are here to sincerely, as always, appeal for an immediate ceasefire, an immediate halt of NATO's aggression against our nation, and for all parties to sit down and negotiate a peaceful way out of this crisis. We believe unless the international community heeds this appeal, many people will be killed and terrible crimes will be committed inside several Libyan cities. Every drop of Libyan blood shed by these rebels is the responsibility of the Western world, and especially NATO's countries. So we hold Mr. Obama, Mr. Cameron, and Mr. Sarkozy morally responsible for every single unnecessary death that takes place in this country. What is happening now and what's going to happen is not the power of the rebels. It's the power of NATO, a major force for evil that has no heart, using armed gangs to occupy a whole nation.
Well, one of the presenters on Libya's state television, Al Libya, has brandished a gun on TV, declaring the channel's staff are ready to become martyrs in defending the station from a rebel attack.
With this weapon, I will either kill or die today. You will not take this channel. You will not take Jamahiriya channel, Shababia channel, Tripoli and all of Libya. We are all armed here, and even those without a weapon are willing to be a shield in order to protect their colleagues at this channel. We are willing to become martyrs.
Well, Sky's Ian Woods is with the rebels outside Garian, that's to the south of Tripoli. They've actually postponed their plans today to move closer to the capital, as Ian explains.
Well, where I am, they're not advancing towards Tripoli at all. It's quite the reverse. They're advancing away from Tripoli because the town of Garian, which was seized a week ago, forced forces loyal to Colonel Gaddafi to retreat both to the north towards Tripoli and away from the city to the south. Now, what has happened is that while they were making their plans, the rebel forces to move on the capital, they were worried about the Gaddafi loyalists to the south of the city around a place called Al-Asaba. Now, that's a city which is just behind me there, about several kilometres away. They've decided earlier on today, instead of advancing towards Tripoli, what they would do was they would try to secure the rear of the city and try to advance on the forces which were to the south. Now, the gun battle has been lasting at least 3 hours. We arrived here and it already started, so it's been going on for perhaps 4 or 5 hours. It's been pretty constant. I mean, of course, there are moments of silence and it sort of calms down a little, and that's one of those at the moment, although we can just hear some small arms fire off to our right. But it's a very wide front, so we've been watching from an advantage point here of a property which overlooks and has got a height advantage looking down on the city. And we can see that there has been both small arms fire, some heavy weaponry, some Grad rockets have been fired from both sides, have been crisscrossing over our heads, and occasionally you get the crump of something and the ping of something which is landing a little bit closer to us, which is why we're just crouching down here to be on the safe side. But it shows that this is not a predictable civil war. I mean, last night we were fully expecting to be advancing northwards towards Tripoli. Plans were made along that route, but then this morning the commander came to tell us around mid-morning that they had decided they hadn't got the green light from their higher command structure, and they were told to wait, and instead of that they're now attacking the town of Al-Asaba to the south.